If you have puckering stitches or your fabric is making funny little tunnel shapes and it's all going a bit wonky and weird, then the problem may not actually be you. It may be that you're missing Stabiliser, and this is what this video is about. But first of all, who am I? I am Kim. This is Quilt with Kim. You, my lovely, are very, very welcome. Let's go find out what it is, what it does, and why you need it in your sewing room. So this is it. This is Stabiliser. It's a paper-like substance, I guess, and it acts like an extra layer for your fabric in certain circumstances. It's like a backup to your fabric. So we would use it when we want to give our fabric extra support. For instance, if you've got stretchy fabric that you want to make sure it doesn't stretch whilst you sew, so it will stop that distortion for you and stretching out of shape. If you've got decorative stitches, they can be very tricky to sew when your fabric is not stabilised because they can bunch up that fabric, and this will stop that happening. Or if you've got tricky fabrics, like thin fabrics, that's where Stabiliser would come into its own. So this would sit between your fabric and your feed dogs to help your feed dogs grip onto something to feed everything through your machine nicely, because your feed dogs can grip onto this and move your fabric where it needs to move to, not letting your fabric carry on its own shenanigans and getting all carried away with itself. So when might you use Stabiliser? Well, I've given you a few examples, but if your fabric is puckering or making that little tunnel shape it does sometimes with stitches, or you've got a really light fabric that you're trying to put through your machine, or you're trying those decorative stitches and it keeps bunching up, then that's when Stabiliser comes into its own. I've also got a quilt that's on the go, which has got a toweling back to it, and my machine did not like that. The feed dogs just did not like that toweling and kept catching on it, and Stabiliser is what saved the day on that particular quilt. So any tricky fabrics that you might have, not just the lighter fabrics, but tricky fabrics, then Stabiliser can really help you. There is, of course, appliqué and also embroidery, both of which we do in quilting. So appliqué, when you are stitching around the edge of your shapes on appliqué, you would put Stabiliser behind the whole piece of fabric whilst you're doing that stitching. So like satin stitching, or perhaps a blanket stitch to go around the edges. That requires your machine to do a lot of backwards and forwards, and you need a Stabiliser underneath that to let the machine do its work for you. And then embroidery as well, you need to stabilise the back of that fabric that you're doing the embroidery on to keep it from puckering up and bunching and all those things that you don't want with embroidery. So times when you definitely need Stabiliser, think tricky fabrics like thin fabrics or sheer fabrics, or that toweling fabric, as I just mentioned. If you're doing any decorative stitches, if you've got all those fancy stitches on your machine, or something like satin stitch, which is just a zigzag stitch that's brought very close together, that can really pucker up your fabric, so you need Stabiliser for that one. Again, stitching, looking at buttonhole stitching. If you're making buttonholes on any fabric really, putting Stabiliser underneath that buttonhole as you're getting the machine to stitch it will help you immeasurably. And we've already spoken about appliqué and machine embroidery. Both of those you need Stabiliser for. And then, of course, there are times where you don't actually need it. We don't need it all the time. You really need to think tricky with Stabiliser. But if you've got stable fabric, medium weight fabric that just goes through the machine nicely as you're sewing a seam, then you won't need Stabiliser. It's really when your machine starts to kick up a fuss and you've eradicated all other reasons, it's probably that you need a Stabiliser. So if your stitches are puckering and your fabric's bunching up and, as I said, making those little tunnel shapes, then put some Stabiliser underneath. Don't struggle on, because actually it's a very easy fix to use a Stabiliser, and you won't believe the magic that happens when you put some Stabiliser underneath your fabric on top of your feed dogs, and everything will start working like a dream. What about the types of Stabiliser then? Because yes, you guessed it, there are a few different types and they're used for different reasons. This particular one is the one I use. It is just a simple tearaway Stabiliser, and that is because it tears away just like paper after you've finished using it. But there are also a few other types. So there are ones that you cut away. For instance, you might want to leave it in behind a tight bit of embroidery. You know when you buy jackets or sweatshirts and you have a logo on it and behind it you can see the white stuff? That's Stabiliser. So what they've done is they've put Stabiliser behind that embroidery. They've done the embroidery and then they've cut away the section that they don't need, but the rest stays in place. I wouldn't want to leave this tearaway in place because it is a bit papery. But there is also the wash away Stabiliser. So if you are doing embroidery, you can get Stabiliser that you can put on underneath your fabric and then it dissolves away afterwards or washes away afterwards. That's also useful if you're doing silk or sheer fabric, which I know we don't really do in quilting, but that's there as an option if you're doing making clothes and garment making as well. There is also a Stabiliser that dissolves or disappears with the heat. I haven't used that one personally. I've never needed to as a quilter. So it's really a specialist Stabiliser, but just know that is out there depending on what you're making. Then there is a stick-on Stabiliser, which actually you stick on using an iron, and it's a temporary stick-in-place Stabiliser. So that's useful if you can't really pin the fabric that you need your Stabiliser onto, and it's a temporary adhesive, so it stays there whilst you're doing the job in hand, whatever that is, and then it will come away afterwards. And then there is a self-adhesive Stabiliser as well. And as the name suggests, that would stick onto the back of your fabric. Again, really handy when pinning is an awkward thing to do and you don't want to stick pins into your work. So as I said, there are different types out there, but as a quilter, I've really only used this tearaway Stabiliser. It's really cheap to buy and it's really, really useful to have in your sewing room. And I use this a lot for all manner of things. The other thing is when you tear it away, so for instance, if you've torn this part away, you can still use this piece, which I guess is about 4 inches by about 3 inches. As long as the piece is bigger than the area that you are stitching on, you can save all sorts of small pieces. And in fact, in my drawer where this is kept, I've got all manner of small pieces kept in there for little things like buttonholes or just a little area which I might need some stability behind. Once you've got your Stabiliser, then as I said, you don't want to use it for everything. So how do you make a decision about when to use it? Well, you want to ask yourself maybe 4 questions. So the first is, well, what fabric am I using? Is it a stable quilting cotton, in which case you probably don't need it unless it's appliqué, more on that in a minute. Is it lightweight? Is it stretchy? Is it a sheer fabric? The more tricky your fabric, the more likely you are to need Stabiliser. I couldn't quite get that sentence out there. The second question you want to ask yourself is, well, what am I doing to it? Is it a straightforward seam, in which case you wouldn't need it? Or is it something a bit tricky, like one of those decorative stitches or embroidery or a buttonhole? So the trickier end of the spectrum, so the buttonhole, the decorative stitches, the embroidery, then you would need a Stabiliser for those. Then the next question is, well, does my fabric need just temporary support whilst I'm doing those buttonholes or embroidery stitches, or do I need more permanent support? If it's temporary support and you just need it whilst you're doing the sewing, then a wash away or a tear away like the one I've got down here, then that'll do you well. But if you need that permanent support, like the embroidery on those jackets I was talking about, like the logo on a jacket, then you'll need a cutaway Stabiliser. So you cut away the excess and the rest of the Stabiliser stays in place behind that logo to give that permanent support. So this is not really a case of, well, which Stabiliser is the best one. It's more a case of what help does my fabric need, and then that'll tell you which of those Stabilisers that you need. You can end up with a few problems if you use the wrong Stabiliser for the wrong job. So for instance, if your Stabiliser was really thick and heavy, then your fabric can become too stiff, especially when it's a Stabiliser that needs leaving in. And then if it's too light and your fabric needs a bit more support, then your fabric can become a little bit floppy. We don't want floppy things in our lives, do we now? And if you use a tearaway Stabiliser, I've put myself off now, on a stretchy fabric, that can actually lead to the fabric distorting. And then if you used a temporary stabiliser like the wash away or the tearaway, when actually you need a permanent solution, then once it's gone through the wash, it will go all floppy afterwards. And we know that we don't want floppy things in our lives. Let's move on, shall we? This video is going very quickly downhill. So how do we use our stabiliser? Well, you want to cut a piece off that is bigger than the fabric that you are needing support with. And okay, I've got a really tiny piece here. It's just so it fits under the camera. And that's the only reason. But if I was putting, I don't know, a buttonhole on this piece, or I wanted to applique something tiny, then this would be perfect. So you can see here, I've got a bit of stabiliser. It is bigger all round than the area that I potentially want to do my embroidery on, or do my buttonhole on, or I want to do some applique on. This is just so that it gives you some stability all over. In reality, if you've got a big piece of fabric, you really just need your stabiliser bigger than the area that you are dealing with. So if it's a buttonhole, make sure that the stabiliser is bigger than your buttonhole, but it doesn't need to be bigger than your fabric. If you're doing applique, again, your stabiliser just needs to be bigger than the area of your applique. It doesn't need to be bigger than the whole block that you're putting your applique onto. So given that, it doesn't need to be tidy around the edges at all. We've just torn this off that roll, and that's absolutely fine, because this is a temporary stabiliser and it's going to come off afterwards. I've just noticed I can say stabiliser, because if you've watched my videos for a little while, you know that stabiliser is one of those words that I keep tripping over in videos. Anyway, all you would do is literally stick a pin in it. In the corners, you want to be very clear of the areas that you are going to be stitching and going under your machine. But as long as the pins are out of the way, that's all you need to do, is pin it in the corners to keep it in place, and then it goes through your machine absolutely as normal. Now, what you don't want to be doing as you're going through the machine is pulling or doing anything like that. Just let the feed dogs of your machine take it. You will find that those feed dogs can really grip onto this, and as you're feeling it, it is like a paper substance. I don't know what it's made of actually, but we don't need to know that. We just need to know that it is perfect and the answer to a lot of problems in our lives. Not all problems, just enough problems. So our feed dogs would take this and it will guide it through and enable it to do its fancy stitching, or on the edge of our applique. And then when we have magically done our stitching, and yes, I shot off to stitch some daisies down in there as one of the decorative stitches, as my machine is set up in the other room because I'm doing quite a lot with it. Anyway, what we would do, having done our stitch line or our buttonhole or whatever it is that we need to do, then we would carefully tear our stabiliser away. Or if it is a wash away or an iron away, then you follow the instructions on your stabiliser. But as we're quilters on this channel, then generally I'd recommend using this tearaway stabiliser, because that does all manner of stuff. As I said, I've never actually needed anything else. So what we would do is tear this away, but we need to be careful, because if we just yanked it, it would pull against our stitches. So if you hold down on the stitches and very gently tear it away, can you see it's pulling against there? So I want to hold the stitches as I gently pull the stabiliser. And as we're doing this, we can remove all of the stabiliser from the back. So you can see how it's torn away here. And we do this all the way around whatever it is that we have been stitching. I'm doing this, the camera is about a foot away from me, so it's quite a long distance to try and see what I am doing. But there we go. We've taken the majority of that off, but I would still need to pick out, can you see here, I would still need to pick out the rest of this. So some little snips, or your nails if you've got some. My nails didn't work on there, but some little snips or some tweezers or something. So you'd want to get rid of all of that paper stabiliser if it is a temporary stabiliser. And then that would, once you've fiddled about doing that, I'm not going to do that under the camera, but it is quite satisfying to sit and do, but you do get lots of little bits everywhere. So maybe don't do it on the sofa because you'll have lots of little bits. But moving on, once we've got rid of the little bits, then that is basically your stabiliser has done its job to stabilise that fabric, because if we'd done this fancy daisy stitching, if we'd done this fancy daisy stitching without the stabiliser, that would all bunch up that fabric, which is obviously not what we want to happen. So something to just have a think about and help you avoid some mistakes. So don't think that Stabiliser is just for embroidery. Hopefully in this video I've shown you that you can use it for more than just embroidery. There's other things that you can use it for too. Anytime that your fabric is struggling, then put some Stabiliser underneath. I think one of the biggest problems that I see is tearing away the stabiliser at the end and tearing it away too roughly, because that can really pull on your stitches, and then you end up back at the beginning with distorted stitching, or even worse, you've pulled out the stitches, which obviously is not ideal. What you want is to tear the stabiliser, see I can't say it, tear the stabiliser away gently by holding on to the stitches, and that'll bring it away and leave your stitches nicely in place. Also, don't assume that the same stabiliser can be used for everything, because as we've already talked about, some stay there permanently, some are temporary, and you don't want to use the wrong thing in the wrong place. And then the other thing probably is if you're using too small a piece behind your work, you definitely need a piece of stabiliser that's bigger than the area that you need to do your stitching on, because your feed dogs really need to get a hold of this stabiliser to grip onto, so that your stabiliser can do its job. It is a cheap thing to buy, so don't skimp on the amount that you use. And as I said, once you've torn it away, so these bits now become useful for another area. So if I'm doing buttonholes or something, I know I said that earlier, but it's worth repeating that you don't need to throw lots of bits away. You can use quite a big area to start with, and then when you've torn it away, you can still use the bits. So it is pretty economical as a thing to have in your sewing room. So as a quick guide, if you're sewing t-shirt material and you want to put some embroidery on it, then definitely use Stabiliser. If you're doing appliqué, or you're doing embroidery, or you're doing buttonholes, then all those will require a stabiliser. But if you're just sewing your normal seams together, then you don't need it at all. Then for quilting, if you've got toweling on the back, so like for a beach quilt, for instance, that is really tricky, as I know I've referred to that a couple of times. Definitely use Stabiliser on the back. And also with plush, so like this quilt here, which is on the go, I don't know where the inside is. The top is, it's buried inside, but this plush is oh so lovely on the back of quilts, as we know, but sometimes your machine won't like it, in which case put some stabiliser on the back of that, and that will help you. So it's just any time, we generally don't need it with quilting, but if the fabric is struggling with your machine, or the machine is struggling with the fabric, then try some Stabiliser, and you'll probably find that there's a whole world of difference that has happened in your world, and your frustration levels goes all the way down quite dramatically. So that is Stabiliser. If this has helped, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I would love you, and I will leave you for now, and I will look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.